Hey guys, Victor here, and today we're going to be doing an Edison deck profile, which is hopefully going to be the first of many to come. And today's focus is going to be on zombies, but it's not just going to be any zombie variant. It's going to be a mix of the two most popular zombie decks, being Welodad and Instant Fusion Zombie, just because I feel like both decks have aspects that really complement each other, and the potential is definitely there for this to be like a very, very solid tier 1 deck in Edison format. It just takes the right pilot, and of course, the proper testing channels need to be made in order to help efficiently maximize this deck to its fullest potential. So, with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into the video. Now, for the monster lineup, we're going to be starting off with the zombie cards. That means we're playing 2 Goblin zombies, 1 Zombie Master, 1 Plague, 1 Mezuki, 1 Reaper, and 1 Pyramid Turtle. Pretty straightforward for our zombie engine. The only difference is that sometimes you see people playing 3 Pyramid Turtle, especially in the instant variant, just because it does help you get to like your Goblin zombies a lot more quickly, or your Plagues. But I've just never really been a big fan of these, especially with them like clogging your hands. Like, they're pretty much reliant on them being destroyed by battle. You can't tribute them for like Caius, because then they don't get their effects off. You know, just things like that make it less effective in my opinion, but you should still be playing the 1 just because it is a good wall, and there are certain matchups where it is phenomenal against. Then that's it for the zombies, but we're playing 2 Caius the Shadow Monarch. I'm constantly going back on if I want to play 2 or 3, but the issue that I have with 3 is that this deck is already super monster heavy, so it's very easy for you to just straight up brick on them. And as a result, I just opted to go with 2. But don't get me wrong, Caius is still a very phenomenal card because it outs so many problematic cards. It gets rid of Treeborn Frogs, it gets rid of all the Blackwing monsters so they don't go to the grave, like Vayu or Armed Wing. It gets rid of Rykos, Dandelions, your opponent's set Goblin zombies. The list goes on and on and on, and a lot of the times, a Caius can be just clutch enough to win the game on its own. Like, it really is that important, but I don't really think that you need to play more than 2, just because like I said, you can brick on it, and when you have multiples in your hand with like a bunch of other monsters, yeah, you're not gonna have a fun time. Then for the Telidad or the Welodad engine, we're playing the 3 Krebons with the 1 Psychic Commander. So one of my previous gripes with zombie decks is that we basically were limited to just 2 tuners, or even not even 2, just 1 being the 1 Plaguespreader. But or like, depending on how you built it, sometimes you could have Gale too. But thanks to the inclusion of Krebons and Psychic Commanders, we can pretty much have a synchro play every single turn. And I feel like the synchros that you can summon, or just being able to synchro summon so much, is one of the biggest strengths of zombies. So cards like Krebons or Psychic Commanders just complement the deck very well. And then in addition to that, cards like Krebons are honestly really solid for helping you buy turn, just because it's very difficult for a lot of decks to out it. But yeah, 3-1. Sometimes I consider going down on the Krebons, but I think for now this is perfectly fine. And then for just like a bunch of 1-0 monsters, you play the 1 Mystic Tomato. Much like Pyramid Turtle, I pretty much don't enjoy it for the most part, but it's still like a necessary evil. And in addition to that, it's able to get a lot more monsters than the Pyramid Turtle, just because it's able to special summon out cards like Krebons. It can bring out pretty much all the zombie monsters, like, well, the important one, which is Goblin Zombie and Plaguespreader. And then it can also get these cards if the situation calls for it, such as Sangan and Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. They're both pretty good, versatile in what they can get, but Mystic Tomato just is slightly better. Then speaking of other 1-ofs, you play the 1 of Dark Armed Dragon, the 1 of Tragoedia, and the 1 of Gorz the Emissary of Darkness to round off the monster lineup. And with that, that's, like I said, that's the monster lineup. So now we can move on to the spells and trap portion of the deck. So starting off with the spell cards, we're going to be doing 3 of the most important one, being Triple Instant Fusion. This card pretty much does it all. It gives you instant access to synchro plays, tribute summon plays, it fills up your graveyard. It literally just does everything. Card is phenomenal. And then to go with Triple Instant Fusion, we're going to be playing Triple Book of Life. Now, traditionally, you'd only see people playing usually just 1 Book of Life, but because of Instant Fusion being able to bring out zombie monsters way more consistently, Triple Book of Life is almost kind of like just mandatory, if I'm being honest. And there's a lot of really important cards in this format that Book of Life can hit, like Treeborn Frog or Vayu, Miracle Fusion targets. You can hit like hero monsters. There's so many things that Book of Life helps you beat. And yeah, thanks to Instant Fusion, this card can definitely be played at 3. And then after that, we're playing a 2 of Telekinetic Powerwell. This card's only purpose is to bring back Krebons from the grave, but it's really cool because it can bring up basically up to 2 of them. Sure, you take a little bit of life point damage, but that's very easily gained, and it can be used both offensively and defensively. It gives you that extra little push if you're going for game. You can try to bait out the Gorz first, and then if they have nothing, while they have less than 1200 left, you go activate Telekinetic Power Wall, attack directly with the Krebons for game, or you can use it defensively, like I said. You can set it, have your opponent waste resources like an MST on it, chain it, bring back Krebons, and then as stated previously as well, Krebons is very difficult for a lot of decks to out. So card, really cool, really versatile with the way it's used, and yeah, just phenomenal. Then after that, we just have like a bunch of one-of power spells. So you have the MST, the Heavy Storm, the Allure of Darkness, the Foolish Burial, the Emergency Teleport, the Brain Control, and the Mind Control. Not much to be said. All these cards are really strong, and yeah, they're just really good at helping you win the game. And then for the traps, the trap lineup is honestly pretty standard. We only play 6 of them to keep the deck at 40, but you play the one of Solemn Judgment, the one of Torrential Tribute, the one of Mirror Force, the one of Trap Dustshoot, the one of Call of the Haunted, and lastly the one of Return from the Different Dimension. Pretty straightforward trap-wise, and with that, that's the main deck, 40 cards like I said, and now we can finally move on to the extra deck. Now for the extra deck, we're going to be starting off with the fusion monsters, or I guess like the instant fusion targets. The first one we're going to be playing is Flame Ghost. So this is a level 3, and I basically have a level 3, a level 4, and a level 5, which means that we have access to every single synchro level imaginable, pretty much. And I just chose Flame Ghost because it's a zombie. Now, typically you don't see this. You typically see people playing 2 level 5s and then a level 4. But I just like the versatility that the Flame Ghost offers you. Like, it's dark, it's a zombie, you can bring back with Book of Life. It's level 3, so you can have place for your level 5s, level 6s way more easily, and things of that nature. And then for the level 4, I play 1 Karbonala Warrior. Now, typically this is going to be like Dark Fire Dragon, just because it's a dark, and it helps you fuel your Dark Arm Dragon plays. But I wanted something that gives me a little bit more versatility for side deck options, right? So if you get hit by, say, for example, a Consecrated Light, you can go Instant Fusion for Karbonala Warrior, and then you can typically like Synchro Summon or whatever into a different out. And that's something that you wouldn't be able to do if you played Darkfire Dragon or just any other level 4 that's dark. So yeah, this being an Earth is pretty important to helping you deal with the cards like that. And then for the final fusion monster, we play 1 Reaper on the Nightmare. This card's insane. It's literally Spirit Reaper, but it can attack directly. It's a level 5, so that means you have very, very easy access to level 7 and 8 synchros. And then this is pretty much always going to be like your main Book of Life target as well, especially early on in the game, just because this will be in the graveyard very easy, whether you synchro with it or tribute it off. You go Book of Life, bring it back, attack directly, rip a card out of their hand, just because, like I said, it is Spirit Reaper, but it can attack directly. Card is just crazy for what it can do. And then that's it for the fusion monsters, and now we just have a bunch of synchro monsters. So we play the 1 Ally of just Catastor, the 1 Magical Android, the one Revive King Hades, the 1 Brionac Dragon of the Ice Barrier, the 1 Goyo Guardian, 1 Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth. So this is going to be the ultimate flex spot. I just opted to play Gaia Knight because I wanted a generic level 6. And this one just happens to be the strongest one. But if you want, you could play cards like Iron Chain Dragon or Doom Kaiser Dragon. But I think this is probably just like the best one, just because it's generic, it's 26, it beats over pretty much everything. But yeah, if you want to change anything, this is definitely the card to take out. Then for level 7s, you play the 1 Black Rose Dragon and 1 X-Saber Urbellum. So you combine this with like your Spirit Reapers or your Reaper of Nightmares to basically just put your opponent in like an infinite hand loop, because this will stack a card on top of your opponent's deck, and if they bricked, which, you know, it's Edison, it is possible for you to brick, you've kind of just already won the game. So card, really good. And that's it for the 7s. And then for the 8s, you play the 1 Colossal Fighter, Thought Ruler Archfiend, Dark End Dragon, and Stardust Dragon. And with that, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!